Picture the Strait of Hormuz. The water is calm, the sun is high, it looks like paradise. But beneath the surface, a silent threat is lurking. A U.S. supercarrier moves through the channel. It is a $13 billion masterpiece. It is shielded by the best technology. It can detect threats from space, but it cannot see the sand. Imagine the white sand of the Gulf. It is peaceful and clear, but under that sand, a threat is growing. A threat that was planted months ago. A threat that never makes a sound. It is the ultimate ambush weapon. It is the nightmare of every sailor. Deep in the ocean floor, something sleeps. It is not a submarine. It is not a diver. It is an Iranian stay-behind missile. It sits in a special composite shell. It has no engine running. It has no crew breathing. It emits absolutely zero noise. It is perfectly cold. It is perfectly silent. Even the most sensitive sonar is useless. To the carrier, the seabed looks empty, but the trap is already set. This is a technical nightmare. It is a weapon with no heartbeat. It sits buried deep in the silt. It waits for months in the mud. It ignores the radar. It laughs at the infrared sensors. How do you fight a ghost? How do you stop an invisible strike? The Navy believes they are in control. They trust their billion-dollar sensors. They believe they own the waves. But the rules have changed. The hunter has become the prey. The sea is quiet for now, but the silence is a lie. The tension is thick. The danger is real. And the countdown has begun. Are these massive ships actually safe? Or are they sailing into a graveyard? Let's look at the terrifying truth. How does this hidden weapon actually work? And can the US Navy even survive? How does the Navy find what cannot be seen? It starts with a multi-layered defense. The primary hunter is the littoral combat ship. This ship is a high-tech powerhouse. It was designed for shallow water operations. It is fast and extremely versatile. But the ship is just the platform. The real power is the mission package. The Navy uses specialized drones and sensors. One of the stars is the Nighthawk helicopter. The MH-60S is the ultimate scout. It flies low over the waves. It carries the ANSA QS-20C mine-hunting sonar. This system is truly incredible. It uses 5 different sensors simultaneously. It creates a 3-dimensional map of the seabed. It looks for even the smallest anomalies. But how does the technology actually work? It all begins with acoustic signatures. Every man-made object has a sound profile. Machinery vibrates in a very specific way. Sensors can hear these vibrations from miles away. The Navy uses passive sonar to listen. They wait for the enemy to make a mistake. They wait for a single mechanical click or a hum from an engine. Once a signal is caught, they switch. They activate the powerful active sonar systems. This sends high-frequency sound waves through the water. The waves hit the target and bounce back. This allows for pinpoint accuracy. It reveals the exact shape of the object. It reveals the exact location. The LCS uses a plug-and-fight modular design. This means it can change roles in hours. For mine hunting, it uses the MCM module. This package includes the unmanned surface vehicle. It also includes the Nighthawk. The synergy between these platforms is key. They share data in real time. They create a unified picture of the ocean. This is the Aegis of the deep. It is a massive network of sensors. It is designed to be impenetrable, but some threats do not make noise. Traditional mines sit silently on the floor. How does the Navy find those? They use magnetic anomaly detectors. Every large metal object affects the Earth's magnetic field. These sensors detect those tiny changes. They can see metal buried deep under silt. They can see through layers of mud. No metal object is truly hidden. The Navy are masters of the hunt. They have seen every trick in the book. Traditional diesel-electric submarines are difficult to find, but they are not impossible. They still have mechanical parts. They still have magnetic signatures. The Navy's acoustic databases are vast. They contain the fingerprints of every known vessel. If it moves, the Navy knows it. If it vibrates, the Navy hears it. Once a threat is identified, the hunt ends. The Navy deploys the mine neutralization systems. These are advanced underwater ROVs. They are remotely operated from the ship. These robots are incredibly precise. They carry high-definition cameras and sonars. They swim directly to the target. They place a small explosive charge. Then, they retreat to a safe distance. With the press of a button, the threat is neutralized. This is a clinical and efficient process. It happens every day in training exercises. They also use the Seafox system. The Seafox is a fiber optic guided drone. It is small and very agile. It can enter tight spaces. It can inspect suspicious objects up close. It uses high-resolution imaging sonar. This allows it to see through murky water. It can identify a mine from a rock. It can distinguish a pipe from a weapon. This level of detail is unprecedented. It removes the guesswork from the mission. It ensures that every strike is justified. The US Navy has spent decades perfecting this. They have invested billions into these systems. Their crews are the best in the world. They operate with total confidence. They believe they can scan every inch of the seabed. They believe no enemy can hide from them. From the Persian Gulf to the South China Sea, the Navy's reach is absolute. Their technology is an unbreakable shield. It protects the massive carrier strike groups. It ensures the safety of global trade. When you look at this technology, you feel secure. You see the massive ships and the high-tech drones. You see the precision of the Aegis combat system. You see the power of the Seahawk helicopters. It feels like the problem is solved. The US Navy has mastered the undersea battlefield. They are the ultimate apex predators. They have the eyes to see. They have the teeth to bite. Traditional threats are being wiped out. They are being cleared with surgical precision. This total dominance creates a sense of safety. The US fleet sails with pride. They know they have the best tools. They know they have the best training. They feel untouchable in the open ocean. But pride can be a dangerous thing. It can lead to overconfidence. It can lead to blind spots. The Navy is looking for what they know. They are looking for acoustic signatures. They are looking for metal. They are looking for movement. But what if the threat isn't traditional? What if it doesn't move? What if it doesn't have a magnetic signature? What if it doesn't make a single sound? Could a few $1 million defeat billions? What if all this technology is looking elsewhere? Imagine a threat that is perfectly cold. Imagine a weapon that is perfectly still. What if the US Navy is blind? How do you fight what isn't there? Iran knows how the Navy works. They have watched the US Navy for decades. They know every sensor. They know every weakness. They have developed something different. Something that bypasses every billion-dollar system. Something that turns the seabed into a trap. And the US Navy is sailing right into it. The rules are about to be broken. The hunter is about to become the target. The ocean is about to become very dangerous. Are the hunters ready for the ambush? Or is their technology a false security? Let's dive deeper into the Iranian secret. But wait, the US Navy is hunting for ghosts. They are hunting for metal. They are hunting for a mechanical hum. But Iran has a different plan. This is the world of asymmetric warfare. They do not want to fight a fair fight. They want to turn the sea into a trap. This is the stay-behind weapon. It is a technical masterpiece of deception. It is simple, it is cheap, and it is absolutely devastating. This is the hidden truth of the Strait. Let's look at Tactic 1. This is the Cocoon concept. Most weapons are made of heavy steel. Steel reflects sonar waves like a bright mirror, but Iran uses advanced composite tubes. These tubes are made of high-strength glass fibers. They are mixed with special resins. These materials do not reflect sound. They absorb the sonar pings, or they let the waves pass through. To a US sensor, the tube is invisible. It looks like a common seafloor rock. It looks like a harmless patch of coral. The missile is sealed inside a vacuum. The salt water cannot touch the electronics. The crushing pressure cannot break the shell. It is an invisible fortress in the silt. It sits perfectly still in the mud. Tactic 2 is the cold battery state. This is a game of heat. All modern electronics create a signature. Even a tiny hum can be heard. But the stay-behind missile is dead. Power source is physically disconnected. There is absolutely zero energy flowing. No electricity means no heat. No heat means no infrared signal. The weapon has no pulse. It is as cold as the ocean floor. It is in a deep state of hibernation. It can sit there for many years. It waits in the dark. It waits in the silence. Even the best US sensors see nothing. They see a silent ocean. They see a peaceful seabed. But how does the ghost wake up? Look at Tactic 3. This is remote activation. Iran uses very low frequency waves. These waves can travel through the deep water. They reach the missiles with ease. But they also have a clever backup. Iran has a secret cable network. They have laid miles of fiber optics. These cables are buried under the sand. They are hidden from every sonar. They are hidden from every diver. A single pulse of light is enough. One signal triggers the internal battery. The circuit snaps shut. The computer boots up in seconds. The predator is now wide awake. The trap is live and ready. The sea is no longer safe. Now, consider Tactic 4. This is the cost paradox. This is where the math really hurts. A US destroyer costs $2 billion. A carrier costs $13 billion. These ships take years to build. They take thousands of people to operate. But these cocoons are different. They are very cheap to make. They are built in simple factories. Iran can produce 10,000 of them. They can scatter them across the entire Gulf. The US Navy must be right every time. They must find every single hidden cocoon. But Iran only needs one success. They only need one lucky hit. One cheap missile can cripple a carrier. It is a math problem with no solution. The US is outmatched by the low price. It is industrial-scale warfare. Finally, we have Tactic 5. This is the explosion. Picture the US fleet passing through. The command is sent from a hidden bunker. The seabed suddenly begins to churn. The sand explodes into a massive cloud. The water starts to foam and boil. The lid of the cocoon blows off. The missile engine ignites under the water. It creates a massive bubble of gas. It rockets through the waves. It hits the surface at supersonic speeds. The carrier is only a few yards away. There is no time to react. There is no time to aim. The Aegis system is too far away. The phalanx guns cannot move fast enough. The missile slams into the hull. It hits the fuel tanks. It hits the ammunition deck. The pride of the Navy is gone. It happens in the blink of an eye. This is the power of the ambush. This threat changes the entire game. It turns the ocean into a minefield. But these are not just mines. These are smart, guided killers. They are hiding in plain sight. They are waiting for the right moment. The US Navy is sailing on a bomb, and they don't even know it. This is why the Gulf is dangerous. It is a game of hide and seek, and the US is the one seeking, while Iran is the one hiding. The stakes have never been higher. The rules are gone. The world thinks the Navy is safe. They see the big guns, they see the radar, but these tools were made for old wars. They were made for visible enemies. Iran is playing a different game. They are using the environment as a shield. They are using the silence as a weapon. Every inch of the strait is dangerous. Every rock could be a missile. Every patch of sand is a trigger. The US Navy is in a cage, and the cage is made of cocoons. This is the reality of modern war. It is invisible, it is asymmetric, it is terrifying. Imagine being a sailor on that deck. You look at the beautiful water. You feel the power of the ship. You think you are the hunter, but you are the target. You are walking on a carpet of missiles. They are inches below your hull. They are cold and patient. They don't care about your radar. They don't care about your technology. They only care about the signal. And when that signal comes, it is over. There is no escape from the sand. There is no defense against the ghost. The moment of truth is finally here. The ocean belongs to the one who hides. This is not just a theory. This is a proven strategy. It is the perfect counter to a superpower. It uses the Navy's own strength against them. Their size makes them a target. Their technology makes them overconfident. Iran knows this very well. They have built their entire defense around it. They have turned the strait into a kill zone. A zone where billions of dollars mean nothing. A zone where a tube of glass is king. This is the future of naval combat. It is silent, it is deep, and it is already under the waves. The hunters are being hunted, and the ocean is about to explode. Are you ready for the truth? Imagine Iran seeds the entire Strait of Hormuz. They plant thousands of these cocoons in the sand. This is not just a tactical strike. It is a total global blockade. The US Navy faces a massive cleanup task. How long would it take to clear the channel? Finding a moving submarine is actually easier. A submarine has an engine and a crew. It creates a clear acoustic signature. But a cocoon is just a static object. It is buried deep in the silt. It is perfectly silent and perfectly still. At 50 meters deep, the pressure is immense. The water exerts over 70 psi of force. This makes recovery missions extremely dangerous. Divers cannot work in these conditions for long. The darkness is total under the surface. Robots struggle to see through the thick mud. The Navy must scan every square inch of seabed. One missed target means a total disaster. One missed signal could sink a ship. Meanwhile, the global economy begins to bleed. 18 million barrels of oil pass here every day. That is 20% of the world's supply. The shipping lanes would effectively close overnight. Global trade would come to a sudden halt. Insurance rates for tankers would skyrocket instantly. Most captains would simply refuse to enter the strait. No one wants to sail over a bomb. Global stock markets would face a total meltdown. Oil prices would hit record highs within hours. This is the power of the stay-behind strategy. You don't need to win a naval battle. You don't need a massive fleet. You only need to create an area of denial. The US military response time is measured in seconds. But clearing a minefield is measured in months. It is a slow and painful process. The pressure is a constant and heavy weight. It crushes everything that is not protected. Every vessel in the Gulf is at risk now. The supply chain is the true target here. The world depends on this narrow passage, but the passage is now a trap. This is the ultimate paradox of modern power. The most advanced fleet is held hostage by sand. A few $1 million can freeze trillions in trade. It is a clinical application of economic pain. Technology is an amazing shield for any nation, but even the best shield has a limit. Iran has found that limit in the Gulf. They have turned a choke point into a kill zone. The hunters are now trapped in their own territory. The ocean is no longer a safe highway. It is a field of hidden triggers. It is a graveyard of silent missiles. The world is watching the strait. The stakes could not be higher. The water is a battlefield of invisible ghosts. So, who really owns the water today? Is it the nation with the biggest ships, or the one that can hide the best? This is the reality of asymmetric warfare. Power is not just about firepower. It is about the ability to remain invisible. We made this video entirely from scratch. Our small team of 3 produces every frame. We analyze the systems to find the truth. Now, Ask yourself this one final question. You are the captain of a supercarrier. You know these missiles are sleeping below you. What is your next move?